Hi Taurus, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your August 2026 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, source holding in front of us, it's a 12 card spread with each card representing a different house of the zodiac. Starting with your sign, Taurus is the first house, all the way through to Aries representing the 12th. And as far as the decks being used this month, for the main tarot deck, we have the Hermetic Tarot. For the Oracle deck, we have the Wisdom of the Oracle, but we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those Astrology as you have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have 4. So 4th house energy for you guys is Leo, so definitely makes sense to see that come up as far as, the sun recently moved into Leo. We had Jupiter move into Leo recently as well. There's going to be a new moon eclipse in Leo on the 12th of August. Mercury will be in Leo on the 9th of August. So yeah, just tons of energy flowing through there. Not to mention the South Node actually will be moving into Leo as well. Actually later today. So yeah, quite a bit of energy going on for your 4th house for sure. And 4th house in general points to home roots and family. Well, yeah, speaking of South Node, we were just saying that one of the many things going on in Leo is that South Node's moving in there. So South Node could point to releasing things, and in general, you have nodal oppositions every 9 years and nodal returns every 18 years. So for some of you, you could just be seeing things within this area of life coming back around from 9 years, or for some of you, as much as 18 years ago. And we have your sign popping up as well. So this could just be saying that you could also have a lot of focus on yourselves this month too. Astrologically speaking, as far as what's going on in your sign, we have Chiron that recently moved into your sign, and on the 3rd, it will actually start a retrograde cycle. So lots going on, obviously, but we'll keep all that in mind as we go through the main spread. So for your first house, which represents personality, self-awareness, and appearance, we have the Hanged Man. And this deck referred to as the Spirit of the Mighty Waters. So yeah, this could just be saying that you could be a little bit more withdrawn this month, maybe internalizing a lot of things, right? Thinking things through, maybe not feeling like you're in a position to move forward at this time with certain things. And, that could at least in part be due to the fact that you guys right now have Saturn and Neptune in your 12th house, retrograde as well. So, that could bring that heavy energy of introspection and, wanting to really think things through before taking action. All right, so for the second house, which points to possession, self-worth, and finances, we have the 10 of Swords, which is the Lord of Ruin. So yeah, we do see the Gemini symbolism here, which is your actual natural second house. So to see that makes sense in that regard. But for a lot of you, I feel like this could be tied into what we were just saying as far as Chiron being in your sign and about to retrograde on the 3rd. I feel like this is just one of those things where things might feel a little bit heavier for you guys than they might actually be in the reality when it comes to your finances this month. All right, so for your 3rd house, which points to communication, short journeys, and siblings, we have the Lord of Illusionary Success, represented by the 7 of Cups. So yeah, so this is a Scorpio energy here. So this could just be saying as well, right, that maybe some conversations that you might have had recently, especially given that we did have Mercury retrograde not too long ago in Cancer, which is the house of communication, could just be saying that maybe communications that led you to think things were going a certain way might have not panned out quite that way in the reality. Now, that might not have necessarily been due to outright deception, right? It could just be one of those things where there were misunderstandings at the time when the communication was initially had. But yeah, I feel like this is just saying that through the communication, I feel like you're going to come to realization and get more in touch with the reality of the situation. But there could definitely be that brief disappointment because, the way things looked at one moment versus the reality of them now might be quite a bit different. All right, so for your 4th house, which we mentioned, there's so much energy going through there that Makes sense to see the dice pointing to it as well. But we have the Foolish Man, which in this deck is the Spirit of Ether. So another energy here where, so, I feel like this is quite the contrast to the Hangman, right? But um, seeing this in the fourth house in that regard could have it a little bit more muted because the Fool energy is definitely an outward expressing energy, an adventurous, risk taking type of energy, whereas the fourth house energy is more muted. But yeah, I feel like this is saying that ultimately you might actually be inspired while you're in your home environment, or maybe speaking with family or people close to you that feel like family. You might actually feel inspired and reinvigorated to want to get out and put yourselves out there in some way this month. All right, so for your fifth house, which generally points to romance, creativity, and children, we have the Seven of Wands. So this is actually a Leo energy here, but to see this pop up for fifth house is definitely a good sign. That to me, this is saying that if you have the energy of sticking with it, whether it be around a romantic situation or, like we said, maybe creative projects, right? I feel like this is saying that if you stick to it and put in the work, you could reap the rewards this month. All right, so for your sixth house of health, work, and daily routines, we have the King of Pentacles. So this is actually the court card for your sign, so definitely a good thing to see here. In this deck, it's referred to as the Prince of the Chariot of Earth. But yeah, to see this, I feel like this is saying that when it comes to your work, you will have the energy to push things through, right? You'll have staying power as well, right? So the work that you put in should put you in a good position for the long term. And yeah, I feel like this is just saying that, you're going to see uh, your efforts pay off in the long run. So even if they don't immediately seem evident, right? Given that we see the Ten of Swords in the second house, I feel like this is saying that over time, you'll see that the work that you've put in is actually going to pay off well. All right, so for your seventh house energy, which points to partnerships, contracts, and relationships, we have the Princess of Pentacles, which is referred to as the Princess of the Echoing Hills. So yeah, to see this here, I feel like this is saying that you could just feel a bit of a spark when it comes to this area of life, right? So maybe it's entering into a new partnership in a business sense, right? Given that we see Pentacle energy. For others of you, maybe it is a romantic connection, but if that's the case, it's like there's the spark there, the freshness of it, but also it gives off the energy that it could go the distance. So definitely seems like some solid energy there as well. For your eighth house, which points to death, rebirth, intimacy, and investments, we have the Two of Cups. So this is Cancerian energy here, referred to as the Lord of Love in this deck. So yeah, so to me this says that ultimately that could be what's driving you beneath the surface, right? So the eighth house energy isn't necessarily out there in your face type of energy. It's more of a deep, underwater, hidden type of energy. So to see this here, I feel like this is saying that deeply that could be what's driving you guys to an extent this month, right? And if that's the case, like I said, it looks like, it might require some work, but it looks like the work would pay off. For your ninth house of philosophy, higher learning, and foreign affairs, we have the Four of Pentacles, referred to as the Lord of Earthly Power. So this is a Capricorn energy here, which for you guys is your natural ninth house. So good to see that alignment as far as that goes. But also with the Four of Pentacles, sometimes it's referred to as the miser energy, but the other side of that is also it could be, when expressed in the right way, it could be more of a strategic energy, right? So it's not just withholding for the sake of withholding, but it's, withholding, maybe looking forward to the future, right? Knowing that, okay, if I hold back now, I could put myself in a better position in the future. So that could just be the type of energy you guys are embracing this month. All right, for your 10th house of career and social status, we have the King of Swords, and referred to as the Prince of the Chariot of the Winds in this deck. Sorry. There we go. Took a minute to focus. But so yeah. So seeing this here, this is actually Aquarius energy is your natural 10th house of career and social status, and we have the North Node moving in there as well. So some significant energies pulling into that area of life for you guys. We have Pluto there, of course, although currently retrograde. So to me, this says that there is that power to see things through when it comes to your career. Um, Maybe having some solid ideas as well, right? That could go the distance if you express them. So this just looks like a powerful energy to see here in this context. And it could just be one of those things where, like I said, North Node really moving into that area of the zodiac for you guys later today, and then it's going to be there for roughly 18 months. So, it might not be one of those instant sparks, kind of like I was saying with the King of Pentacles, right? Where even if you don't see tangible results of your work right now, as time goes on, you will. So that could be pointing to that as well. For your 11th house energy of groups, friendships, hopes, and wishes, we have the Three of Wands, which in this deck is referred to as the Lord of Established Strength. So yeah, so this is Aries energy here. And to see this coming up in your 11th house, which, your natural 11th house is really Pisces. So this could just be pointing to a bit of a progression energy. But more so than that, I feel like this is saying that you could just be waiting to reap the rewards of work that was already put in, right? So we talked about ways that could be playing out within your careers, but I feel like this is saying that now within your friendships and groups you associate with as well, right? It's like wanting to reap the rewards of the work that's been put in already. And for your 12th house energy, which points to spirituality, blind spots, mental health, we have the Three of Cups. So more Cancerian energy here. It's referred to as the Lord of Abundance in this deck. So yeah, so to see this here, but in the 12th house, right? I feel like this is saying that ultimately this is something that you're striving for, something that you ultimately want, right? But maybe for whatever reason there's a little bit of reluctance on your part to express that. All right, and bottom of the deck we have the Ace of Cups. And in this deck, it's referred to as the Lord of the Root of the Powers of Water. So, kind of a dramatic name, but yeah, seeing the Ace of Cups here, yeah, I feel like this is just saying that there is this underlying passion for you guys, this desire to get things off the ground, right? To reconnect with things that spark in you emotionally. Maybe you felt like that's been lacking for a while, and now you want that feeling back. But we'll see what the Oracle card has to the mix. So, like I said, we're just going to pull one card from here. So I'm going to give this deck a few shuffles. Then we'll put the deck down, pull a card, and see what you get. Okay, we'll take this card, get this out of the way, and see what you guys got. All right, we have Here and Now. There's the artwork, and the number is 32. So we'll see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says being fully present in the moment, living one day at a time. The Oracle's message: everything happens in the now, in the present. Only this moment counts. You have what it takes to handle anything today if you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has the potential for you to create miracles in your life. So definitely an interesting message there, right? Especially for those of you who do feel like you're in that hangman energy, right? To just be saying, just watch out for taking that to the extreme, right? So hopefully that message resonated. The relationship message says it's easy to yearn for a love affair or friendship you may not have right now. One that is more romantic, more fun, more reliable, more passionate. The good old days are gone and a new day has dawned. Let your heart trust that you have everything you need right now, whether you have the relationship you desire or not. Tomorrow is beyond your reach. Yesterday cannot return. The now is all that is available to you. Stay present and aware that in this moment, as you cherish and approve of your beautiful self, you are a magnet for love. Spirit is madly in love with you right now. Did you know that? Turn to Spirit to feel the joy of love in the here and now. So definitely an interesting message there, right? Maybe relating to having a little bit more faith when it comes to that area of life. Maybe that points to what we were saying there, right? With that the Three of Cups energy, wherever in the 12th house, maybe wanting these things, right? Or the Lord of Love in the 8th house, but for whatever reason, having a little bit of fear, reluctance to express that and to actually be open to it in reality. All right, and the prosperity message says, what you are working on is golden, and your efforts will leave a powerful legacy. Focus not on meeting a goal in the far off future, but on creating your dream now, releasing your desire for an outcome, and owning that it already exists. It will appear in the material world as if by magic. Claim your prosperity now. The essence is more important than the form. When you are immersed in prosperous thoughts, you automatically tune into a sense of timelessness and unlimited potential. You can act as if, in spite of the temporary outer conditions, you are prosperous at this moment. What you think now becomes a reality. Stay present. So that's an interesting message there too, right? Especially for those of you if maybe you've been overthinking things when it comes to your finances, right? It looks like you have great energy in your 6th house and 10th house, which of course are two of the better ways to improve that area of life. So yeah, hopefully that resonated for you guys, and we'll wrap up there. All right, bye.